Y'all listen, man, I'm sick and tired of this mullet. It's curling up all over my neck. I can't stand it. So I got my guy Dakota, put him on the spot. He's gonna chop it off for me real quick. We're gonna interview him a little bit while we're in here. Got the camera set up. I'm gonna hop in the chair and get this thing cut off. All right, so yeah, if you guys didn't see my newest video, maybe not my newest video, but new shop update, Dakota is one of my newest barbers. So I said I was gonna interview him anyway, and I just put him on the spot to cut this mullet off. So we'll just test you on the spot.
That's right.
So I know you're obviously a long-time subscriber, so how does your, fade process? I haven't really watched you cut. Do you do it a lot like me?
So I just kind of started, like when I first started school, I was terrible about using the shaver to get my bald line out.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's normal for everybody. But I would always kind of do like a close clipper type thing, and then go back with my trimmer
underneath,
and then kind of start my own process.
Yeah.
But I essentially kind of use you and Dre, like both of y'all's type of systems, and then kind of merge them.
Yeah.
I guess if that makes sense.
That's what you should do.
And
pick up little pieces.
Exactly.
From everybody.
Because I used to get so worried about, like I got to cut just like Sean's process to cut like Sean, and it took me a long time in school to figure that out, that's not the case. Like everybody's gonna cut at different paces, everybody's gonna cut different ways, as long as you get to like the final, the final picture. No matter how you get there, as long as we get there together, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you got those guys that will do a fade with no guard and freehand the whole thing,
Yeah.
or they'll even use a trimmer. And like if people, like somebody commented for me to do that one day, and I was like, man, like to be honest, like the reason I teach so simple is because I want a beginner to be able to do a haircut simple. Like,
Yeah.
So if you're watching my channel and you think there's an easier way for you, like by all means,
Exactly.
do it. I teach it in the most, like I get comments all the time, like there's so many steps or whatever. It's like, well, when you have no idea what you're doing, you need every step.
Exactly, yeah.
You need to know every step. But once you figure it out, like if you say like, oh, I skip this guard, I do this way or whatever, like cool. If your end product is what you want, cool.
No, I totally get that. And like kind of back to what I was saying, like it's always gonna be scary. Especially when you're trying to match somebody else. Like when I was in barber school, man, like I was on I'd be on Facebook or just watching random videos, either you or just some random person, and they were like, I had to do a fade in 45 seconds and and all this crazy. And
yeah,
the crazy thing is, like a lot of people actually skip right to like the 1.5 and do a lot of their steps starting like that.
Yeah. And
I mean, for a couple of guys, that did work for me to like certain hair textures, it did.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, like if you get somebody with blonde, like Matt's, you couldn't, if I did it on Matt, it'd look like he was bald.
it's way short.
Exactly,
Yeah. Or depending on like what's on top. Like
Exactly.
I told you to start with the 6.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want is a 1.5 all the way up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so again, like there's different techniques for every scenario. So you've been in here 3 weeks
Yeah,
now?
this is,
something like that?
Yep, 3 weeks Saturday, I believe.
Okay. So how you feeling about it?
Dude, just the atmosphere has always been awesome. Like I said before in the last video you did, like I've always knew I would kind of be here, and I've always kind of wanted to be here. Like I feel like one of the biggest gems I think I was told, like growing up, was like if you hang around with 7 millionaires, or if you hang around with 6 millionaires, you'll be the 7th.
Be the 7th.
And if you hang around with, 6, whatever you want to say, you'll be the 7th.
Yep.
And so I carried myself through barber school with that, and like what better place to be than surrounded by some of the best barbers in Owensboro, Kentucky. And that just is what it is.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt about that.
Like if you were to just come in here and work and you didn't like consciously try to learn, try to go watch, try to do this, just being in the room, naturally you're gonna like pick up on some things.
Yes.
And be better than you would be somewhere else.
Almost.
Or the other way of that, you go to a shop with a bunch of people with bad habits and lazy and whatever, same thing.
Yep.
Or I guess the opposite thing, that can rub off on you as well. So there's a lot of phrases like that. Like, show me the 5 people you're around, I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from experience, like, not to knock these guys, but when I opened the shop, I was the owner, the first one. And so I reached a point where I was at a plateau, and it's kind of branching off of that statement. It's like, if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yep.
And so I put myself in a new room and started with like the Tomb45 stuff, working with those guys and doing YouTube, and they pushed me to be the 6th, right?
Yep.
Like, and then I hit it kind of a peak there, and now with the Babyliss deal, it's the same thing. Like I'm going pulling up to CT Expo with the Babyliss team as the dumbest one in the room. That's how I like to say it. Not meaning that I'm dumb, but meaning that I'm putting myself in another position where I have a lot of examples around me, more than 5 or 6, that are doing beyond where I'm at. And that's really the only way to grow, is to get those examples around you. So, I mean, obviously I agree 100%. If you want to have the best shot, this is the best place you could work in town. And on top of like learning from us or whatever, it's, you know, I got this idea that I didn't want to hold any of you guys back, because where I started was, you know, it was a great place to start, but his rules and things that he wanted was not going to ever allow me to be doing the things I'm doing today. So that was something I started this shop, like, I'm never going to hold any of my guys back from whatever they want to do. Like if you want to do color, if you want to do women's hair, if you want to do massages.
He does color now, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to
go check his post out on Instagram.
I used to be stuck in that. Yeah, I was down, but now I'm up. I was down, but now I'm up. Yeah, it's all God, this ain't no love. Yeah, I used to be stuck in that. Yeah, I was down, but now I'm up. I was down, but now
I should have done a YouTube video on that.
I know.
It was too much pressure.
No, it was good.
Obviously, you're in a different position, different perspective than I probably have.
Yeah.
So what's anything about, it can be about tools or how you felt like learning, you know, things you did to help you learn better, or any kind of stuff you may say that could help somebody.
Don't compare yourself to other barbers. I feel like that was one of the biggest things I had to learn, because I went to 2 different schools in 2 different years. So I've seen a lot of different barbers, a lot of different people, a lot of different ways of people teaching. But man, like when I first started, I was so worried about what other barbers were doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm never going to cut as good as that dude, so I shouldn't do it at all. And I think that's like...
You think that way, you're going to be out of there real quick.
Exactly. But dude, you just can't beat yourself up. Like everybody learns different, everybody's going to cut different.
You're going to have your own pace.
Exactly.
And your own...
Yeah, and no matter, and you're going to fit in where you fit in, and that just is what it is. There's always a place for you, and you're gonna take this thing, like you said, however high you want to go. You know, like sky's the limit. If you could go back in school, start all over, know nothing, like back at school, first day, what would you say to yourself?
Man, I don't know. That's tough, because to be honest, I think from day one I had this mindset that I wasn't going to do it like everybody else, that I was going to put in the work and, you know, make something out of this. So like I always had that goal. I think I would just tell myself to, whenever I have an idea, immediately go for it.
Yeah.
Like don't wait for anybody else's approval. Don't wait until it feels right. Like, cause I waited 2 years to do YouTube.
Yeah.
And now that I know what I know, I'd be at 300,000 subscribers if I had just started.
Yeah.
Cause it's just all about starting. Or like opening the shop. Like I guess I did it at a good time, but you know, there's just a lot of things that I probably waited even a month to do, or 3 months to do, or even something simple as like reaching out, say I wanted you to come work here, like you go somewhere else, you know, like just stuff like that. Like just be proactive and don't second guess stuff. And kind of like we just talked about, people telling you the haircut sucks, like literally 99% of the time, any of the negatives that you think might happen don't happen. Like you may be worried about a little spot that you're like, man, this is going on YouTube, man, somebody's gonna call me out. Like nobody will ever notice it. All right, y'all, that's it. What do you think?
I'm prepared.
He was nervous, but hey, I feel much better. Got the mullet off. I'll show you guys a couple after shots. You guys go follow Dakota. Dakota Cuts. We'll put it right here. You guys go follow him, show him some love. I'm gonna turn this into a reel as well, and then I'm probably gonna cut him soon once he grows his hair out and put him back on the channel. But shout out to my dog taking this mullet off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash that thumbs up if you did. Make sure you check this video out. I'm gonna go ahead and put his last little burst that I did on him right here for you guys to check out. I'll catch you guys next time.